final assignment for this video session. Assignment 4, create an open and closed 5-plane 9 voicing for each chord listed, okay? So remember, the open voicings would be root on the bottom, then you would have 3-plane, followed by 7-plane, followed by 9, followed by 5. And let me just be clear, these are the open. So that's choice 1. Choice 2 would be root, 7, 3, 9, 5, and then 9. Oops. And then closed would be root. Now, well, let me just finish this. That would be 3, 5, 7, 9, and root 7, 9, 3, 5. Now you can see that the difference between the open and the closed is I grabbed one note, specifically this one, and I put it on the top. I grabbed 5, moved it to the top, that made that one. I grabbed 9, moved it to the top, that made that one. Okay? Now, the root does not need to be anywhere near the voicing. You can just go ahead and throw the root in the bass clef nice and low, done. So the root is separate, and then you just will fill in the blanks. So this chord says C9. So if I was going to do this voicing here, I'd put the root on the bottom, C, boom. Then I need a third, which is E. Then I need a 7, which in this case is a B flat, because it's a dominant 7th. Then I need 9. This is a 9 chord, so that'd be the major 9, which is a D. And then I need 5. This does not say 13 or 11, so it's going to be the regular 5, which is G. That's an open voicing. Closed. Okay, let's do this one. So I'd have the root on the bottom again. And then I need 7, which is B flat. And then I'd need 9, which is D. Need E, which is third, and G, which is 5. Okay, that's how you do that one. You just keep going. You just have to make sure you have the right notes for each plane. Okay. Number 2 says convert the block voicing into a 5-plane, 9-plane voicing. So basically what you have to do is look at the notes and figure out what the chord is. I'm running out of time, so that's why I'm going to go a little quick through this. I'm going to give you a hint. Guess what the note in the bass clef probably is. Well, but like, is it the root, the third, the fifth? Like, yeah, it's the root. So this is probably an F chord. So if it's an F chord, then we look. An E flat compared to an F, what would that be? F, G, A, B, C, D, E. It's a 7th. Is it a major 7th or a dominant 7th? Dominant, correct, because it's a whole step away. E flat to F is a whole step, so that makes it a dominant 7th. All right. G, what is G in relation to F? Right, and we call it 9 because there's a 7 in the chord. Because if there wasn't a 7, we'd call it 2. But what kind of chord is this? What kind of chord is this?
Oh, F. Oh.
Yep. Because what you just said was totally correct. If this was not, All right, now, what's an A? The third. Is it a major third or a minor third? It's a major third. Okay. So that means it's a dominant 7th chord because it has a major third and a dominant 7th. All right. So what's a D in relation to an F? F, G, A, B, C, D. That's 6. What do we call 6 when there's a 7 present? Everybody's lucky number. Happens on Fridays. 13. There you go. So this would be an F13 chord.
2s or 9s or 4s or 11s?
Correct. 2s or 9s, 4s or 11s. 6s or 13s. Now, all we'd need to do is we would need to make sure it's in a 5-plane, 9-plane voicing. And so let's say I wanted to do an open voicing, and let's do 7, 3, 5, 9. 7 of the chord was right here. That's an E flat. Then I need a 3, which is A. Then I need a 5. In this case is 13, right? Because the 5 and the 13 are from the same plane. And then the 9 plane, this has a G, which is the 9. So it would look like that. And that's the answer to the question. Yo.
Oh, is there any like formula for like you know how like so like is there like any pattern like open open close 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 open close close or does it not really matter? Well,
What
it matters, but like
voice leading will dictate that you're typically, if you start open, you'll stay open.
okay.
So that is really it. Now, in terms of the reason we choose open versus closed, that's typically dictated by the instruments, by the size of our hands as piano players, or by any other kind of musical factor. Like, for example, guitars have really hard time playing closed voicings because the strings are a fourth apart. So seconds are really hard to do on a guitar because they're hard to get the notes close together because that would actually be a really weird stretch. But fourths are really easy on a guitar. A D minor 11 chord, or excuse me, an A minor 11 chord on a guitar, if you'd grabbed a capo and put it across the 5th fret of a guitar, that is an A minor 11 chord by just strumming all the strings. So that chord is easy on a guitar, and that's a big spread voicing. What is really hard is like a C major triad where you go C, E, G. That's really hard to do on guitar. Does that make sense? And so that's what dictates whether it's open or closed is the factors like that. But once we are open, we typically stay open. Once we are closed, we typically stay closed because it's hard to make the voice leading work if you keep going open, closed, open, closed. Any other questions over that? Cool. Well, I mean, that is 4 assignments